Come to Remora TC to trade like a shark and not get eaten by one. Let's school together to protect and grow our money. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, February 18th, the day after Lunar New Year. Happy New Year to you if you celebrate. I know we did. It's a family tradition, part of my culture as well. I'd like for us this week to add one more ticker to the end of this set. It's a ticker which I talked about back in the October-November timeframe, and I gave my prediction, and indeed it has played out as I had talked about. So let's get started with triple Qs. Since the week has gone by, the overall direction of triple Qs remains exactly as I had predicted. It's all based on the momentum, and you can see that the flagging action that I annotated here is continuing to play out. There is this past couple of days of action where you can see price has attempted to reclaim 610, but there is no change in the momentum, okay? So it's still to the downside. If you're wanting to go long with triple Qs, this isn't the time. Next up is the gold miners play GDX. Overall, price is bouncing off of this trend line right here, this one. And my annotations are all to the downside. You can see that. I'm not changing the annotation because there is no change in momentum. The momentum remains more to the downside, hence my shark annotations over here on the left. So if you're intending to go long GDX, it's not the time, okay? Next real level of support is at the 200-day down here or somewhere along this trend line down here. The next safe haven that people talk about is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has been a little bit tricky for me over the past week and a half. You can see, if we go back all the way to the October timeframe, I've been informing everybody that it is a short play. It's a sell with the sharks. The sharks have been telling one another to get out. Hence, my annotations here with the flag, okay? Then, over here in this early February timeframe, I started to see what looks like a change in momentum to the upside. Hence, I put the whale here. And I informed all of you that my prior prediction back in the December timeframe that price would get down to 58 might not take place in the near term. So this was last week, but with the action over the past 7-8 days, I'm not convinced that it's a change in momentum. Hence, I put this X through here and the X through here. I'm not removing it as an annotation. I'm keeping it there to say that I was faked out. And I'm seeing that the momentum really is not changing. So I'm maintaining the 58K down here as the next real level of support. And I'm going to move it down here like this. Okay. So I think price will come down to 58K. I'm going to put another annotation up here to show this 68 zone. It's a decent zone of resistance. So there you have it. My Bitcoin prediction has changed over the past week. Usually I don't flip-flop like this, but the way the price action has been over the past week, it hasn't been convincing enough for me to maintain this whale here. So continued selling is coming. Let's switch to Bill Gates' old company. Now, I too felt that there was a change momentum to the upside, okay, similar to the whole Bitcoin play. Despite, let me back up. All in this time frame, I talked about selling pressure, okay? All of this, selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure. You know, I told you guys back in June, okay? And then, indeed, the double top here, and then boom, the selling started with some decent volume. You can see on this day right here, this one is 128 million on the sell side, okay? And it created this gap right here. Now, at this moment, at this zone here, between the January 29th through February 12th, so 3 weeks, 2 weeks, you can see that there is this zone, which I annotated here, of support. Okay, I thought this would be support right here along this trend line. Hence, and then additionally, I saw some momentum change, okay, only up to February 3rd. So this candle here, February 3rd, and this candle here, which is 21 January, exhibited a bullish momentum change, okay? Hence, I put the whale here to say that, you know what, I'm starting to see a change in momentum. But the subsequent, and due to that, I then made the further annotation, this prediction that price will bounce around here and then reclaim support and possibly retest the 200-day up here, okay? Only for it to be resistance, the 200-day being resistance. Over the past week, the price action hasn't been that convincing to the upside. I'm not seeing a lot of selling additionally. I'm not seeing a lot of buying either. Plus, the momentum change hasn't been reinforced with further bullishness. So based on this tonight's analysis, I'm going to remove the I'm going to change my prediction. And like I said for the Bitcoin analysis, I don't usually change my prediction over a couple of weeks. It's not how it works. Usually a prediction will last for a month. But right now, this is kind of a fake out zone. So I'm going to X out the whale, and I'm going to annotate further downside pressure and selling. So this will be resistance. There will be some support here at the 390, but I think, let's see if we zoom out a little bit. Where's the next real support? Okay, well, I annotated it back here a while back in September. So I'll just slide this over. Next real support is down here, okay, in this zone, the zone of 341 all the way to 350. This zone is support, okay? So further selling pressure is coming for Microsoft. Let's switch over to Northrop. Northrop continues to exhibit higher prices with low volume. A lot of divergence. My annotation is unchanged. It's selling, okay? Selling is coming. Just don't get caught on the wrong side. Take your profits if you're long Northrop. Switching to American Express, it's playing out as I predicted. You see my annotations here. There's a little bit of a bounce here. Not a big one. There's no momentum change. So really, further low prices for American Express with real support down here at this 277 zone, okay? It may bounce off of this 200-day again, but really, support is down here. So selling pressure for American Express. Bank of America is exhibiting the same thing. Annotations show downside. Yeah, and this is a flag. So really, don't buy. It's not time to buy long for Bank of America. The selling will continue, okay? One of the long plays that's been playing out, I talked about it back here in the early January timeframe. I put this whale here to say, hey, time to buy. And so the whales are buying, okay? Based on all of this divergence, bullish divergence down here. I said, buy, all this is momentum building. You can see the price action has been behaving really well. I was hoping that this would be resistance. That's why I put this red there. And sure enough, it has been resistance. And the reason why I want it to be resistance is because I want to go long. I want to take a nice entry down here. So I expect price to not really hold here at this. What is this? This is at the 156. I don't think it'll hold. I want it to come down here, retest the 200-day. I'm going to delete this annotation for the 200-day, redraw it. It's kind of going like this. 200-day. There you go. And I want price to get down close to that 200-day so I can take a long, okay? Either at the 200-day or down here at this trend line support down here. But either way, this is a long entry, okay? If you're already in it long, I mean, it'll find support down here. And I told you back on the Tuesday last week here, Tuesday the 10th, that this would be resistance, and sure enough, it has been resistance. So you would have taken profit there. That would have been a good profit-taking zone. Right now, price is in between this zone and this support zone down here. Let price come down here before anybody else, like myself, takes a long, okay? So this is Proctor Gamble long with the target up here of 173. So if price comes down, let's say it comes down to the 200-day and comes up to 173, I mean, that's a good risk reward if your risk is only this little bit of a gap and your reward is all of this. All right, it's 12%. So it's all about how you size your trade. All right, let's go over to Palantir. Palantir is selling, continues to sell. My annotations are depict selling pressure, the sharks, all the momentum change. I mean, it's all there. Now, you do see a little bit of bullish divergence, so I'm not discounting it. There's a little bit here, but it's not a lot to overcome many months of bearishness, okay? So this all has to unwind from November of 24 to now. It all has to unwind. And the price back in November 24 is right here. Look at this, where the gap, this gap starts. So imagine this is a huge magnet down here, and price, the price action and the memory of the algorithms, they remember. So I don't recommend going long Palantir. Okay, no matter what people say, it's going to take a while, but the overall move is to the downside, maybe 6 months. Okay, to get all the way down here. But you can see already the 200-day is starting to go like this. And it'll take some time. Price will move sideways, eventually will come up, hit the bottom side of the 200, get rejected. It does, it does this sort of movement. So it's a bear market. That's how some people would like to describe this. Switching to the other defense contractor, Raytheon has been hitting resistance. I've been talking about this resistance area here underneath this trend line, this diagonal line here. And I put the sharks here to inform everybody. The sharks have already told one another to get out. Hence, you will see more and more selling over the next weeks and months. The divergence continues to be there to the sell side. So yeah, don't get caught buying Raytheon at this time. Take your profits, put your money into cash. Switching to Lockheed. Lockheed Martin is at resistance here. Let's annotate that. This is resistance. I talked about it last week. And the behavior is unchanged and the direction is unchanged. Further low prices with support down here at the 200-day will be an area of support. Whoops, it's kind of hard to draw it using, actually I should use the pen. So go like this, so like that. Let's change the color. And then, so that will be one area of support off this 200-day. But really, down here at the purple will be another area of support. I'm zooming out a little bit so that I can continue to draw this purple line here, this one. Okay. So it is a legit line. A lot of points where price has used it as support and resistance. I'm just going to extend it so we can continue to see it as an area where price will behave a certain way. Okay. So there may be support along this purple trend line as well. Okay, some support there, but it's not long-term support. It's really a momentary bounce before further low prices. Okay, so I'll annotate it that way so that nobody can say, hey, John, you didn't warn us. Well, I can't tell you everything to do. I can only give you my ideas, but this is likely the next set of moves will be kind of like that, okay? With probably more zigzags in there, but this is the overall direction. And then LGEN. LGEN is a insurance company, financial pension management company in the UK. This is on the London Stock Exchange. And I informed everybody last week that the sharks have told one another to get out. There's the momentum change. I put the shark signal here. I talked about this area as being resistance. So I should also be consistent and talk about how all of this, let's draw it a little bit nicer, is also resistance. And yeah, no change in my annotation, further low prices for LGEN. And then to our last ticker, because I don't want everybody to say that, hey, you're such a naysayer. You're such a, what is it? You do things that are different from what the entire market is doing. The pundits and the financial news, as well as all the social media folks that you follow on TikTok and Instagram and even on YouTube, they all talk about the big moves up, right? Big things are happening. So they're wanting you to go long. Well, I don't want to be the naysayer. So then here is a ticker that I talked about back in October, November timeframe. And I informed everybody about the buy signals. Hence, I put the whale here. In fact, the last time I talked about this ticker was the video from November 11th. And I informed everybody on November 11th, which is thereabouts right here. Okay, I said, hey, if price comes down here as support, watch the video, then it's a good opportunity to go long. And I made this annotation on the 11th, okay, November 11th. And here we are. So if you got into the play, then you are doing okay. So from, let's say, I'll say down here up to where we are now. All right, that's about a 40% move, okay? So that was from November 11th. So I hope you were able to get into that play. And why did it work? Let's talk about it. It worked because the signals were all there, okay? The signals were all there. The bullish momentum, all down here, I saw it. And so I told you that the whales are buying back in. And I said it would be a beautiful thing if price would come back down to this purple trend line and use it as support. And indeed, price came down, used it as support. This would have been your most beautiful entry. I'm already in this trade, but I didn't take it down here. So I'm not 40% up. But it's hard to always give you all the trades. There's just too many tickers to track and too many signals to inform you about, and the videos take a while to make. So, I would appreciate if you're watching my videos that if I switch tickers out, it doesn't mean the ticker is not in play and my analysis and my prediction has changed. It's just I don't have the bandwidth and the time to show you the same tickers every week. So hence I took Target off because I saw the metrics for my videos. My Target ticker analysis was always at the very end. And the metrics showed that you all didn't watch the videos to the end. So it wasn't beneficial for me to keep talking about a ticker that you guys didn't want to watch. But I'm bringing it up tonight to say, hey, maybe you should watch my video to the end. Unfortunately, I'm putting this at the end, so maybe people won't even see that I was right since November 11th. Okay. So anyway, if you liked the material and my analysis, please give me a thumbs up. Please share my material with your friends and family. And as always, good luck with your trades.